Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. AJ, Rudo, Blaze coming to you live as the Avs lose Game 5. They now trail in the series 3-2 to the Seattle Kraken, and that was the final score of the hockey game too. I don't have a ton of good feels about tonight. Yeah. I think Seattle was the better team, and they won.
Yep. Yeah, man, this is going to be a really short pod because that's it.
Yep.
The no Cale Makar, no Val Machushkin, it just looks like it's a bridge too far. And when you're talking about, we walked into the series, what was our number one thing? Seattle's depth is better. Colorado's top end is better. Where would you put Val Machushkin on the list of best players in the series?
In the series?
5 or 6?
6, yeah.
Somewhere in there. The Avs to lose Makar, obviously, and then not having no Nichushkin. I mean, we talk about being equipped to handle a hard forecheck, a strong two-way game, needing to be consistently defensively responsible, while also being good enough to generate offense and to score offensively. The lack of Val Nichushkin it's killing them.
Yep.
And you saw on the back end, they have a good defense without Cale Makar,
but not a great one. Yeah.
But when it comes to generating offense and activating, there's just nobody in the world like Cale Makar. Nobody that can provide that spark. Nobody that can just get in there, do any of that. It feels like a bridge too far because Seattle pretty comfortably handled the Avalanche tonight. And you look at Nathan MacKinnon doing absolutely everything. Honestly, probably too much.
Playing D,
yeah.
Probably a little bit too much.
At times, too much for sure.
Knows that if it's not him, it's not happening.
And it was true tonight. I mean, we'll hit the 60-second rundown
Let's
here.
just hit KO with a timeout now.
Yeah. Don't ban him, but come on.
Let's hit him with just a timeout.
Okay. First period, there were no goals scored. Actually felt pretty okay about Colorado in the first 10. It was better. Then Jack Johnson takes a penalty. While they kill the penalty the second half of the period, you saw the Avs kind of just start to get dominated. Seattle controlled the play just better than Colorado did throughout. They do get a power play at the end of the period, but it's a carryover, so they can't do a ton with it. Seattle scores the first goal of the game in the second period off of some nonsense bounces that come out in front, kickoff of Taves' skate, absolute criminal. And then the Avs do the same thing on the other side, where it kicks off of McKinnon's skate and off of Grubauer, and it's a 1-1 game. And then you have the no call on MacKinnon, which I'm sure we'll talk about, leads to a Seattle possession where the defense is horrendous from Colorado, and it ends up in the back of their net 2-1. And Colorado never really did a good job of chasing the play from there. They give up one early in the third period to make it 3-1. Their goal to make it a one-goal game is absolute nonsense. It hits off 2 Seattle players on the way in. Nothing was deserved there from Colorado, and they lost the game.
Just real quick, I want to answer a question from Chad of how much cap is out today between Nuke, Cale, and Landy. What's 6 plus 7 plus 9?
So 22 million, yeah.
That's a lot of money, man. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Yep. It's a lot of dollars.
It is what it is. I mean, they don't have Jared McCann. They don't have Andre Burakovsky.
Yep.
Obviously, those guys are not in the same category as what Colorado has.
For sure.
But that's fine.
And those dudes make you a better team, but you can still go through the lineup, and nearly every single player tonight on Colorado, you can say, hey, you need more from this guy here. You need more from that guy there. Colorado just got outplayed.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look, man. It looks like they've made the adjustments to fix kind of the defensive issues that they've been seeing, right?
Yep.
The looks that Seattle's been getting, but the execution just wasn't there tonight. Like, how many times was there just bad passes behind players, passes that weren't on time? Like, they couldn't put two things together, and it killed them.
Yeah. Even the ones they do put together, you watch an opportunity go wide left by Lehkonen on what is a nearly wide open net.
I mean, Lehkonen missed a few
multiple other opportunities. Yep.
Opportunities that he could have, tapped the puck in.
Well, and that's a guy, when you're talking about, you have no Makar, you have no, and okay, you need somebody other than Nate to step up. And people are freaking out about like Alex Newhook and shit, but it's like Arturi Lehkonen has 2 scoring chances on the back door that go through him. One of them he sends wide. One of them literally just goes through him. He just misses. And in a game where both teams badly struggled to create quality chances until late when Colorado was full send.
Just YOLO'd it.
And Seattle's got 2-on-1s and breakaways like coming down the pipe because the Avs are all the way maxed out on offense. Until that point, both teams
It was just sludge,
could not generate quality chances. And watching MacKinnon blow both of those, that's the guy that you need.
And I mean, particularly the first one.
And like pick a guy, Arturi Lehkonen, Evan Rodriguez, JT Compher.
JT
like,
Compher's
you needed-
effort level.
JT Compher was
tonight
just awful.
Weird.
He was awful tonight.
Yeah,
There was a few times where he just stopped playing, basically, and skated back to the bench.
the one where the puck gets out into center ice and he doesn't take a single stride for it. He probably loses that puck battle if he goes for it.
But you at least
I
make
think he
something
thought-
out
But
of
he
it,
might
yeah.
have won it,
Yeah.
and then he does nothing on the forecheck. The puck leaves his guy. He pushes him into the wall, and then lazily skates to the bench for the change. And you're just like, "What is this?"
Are you
The
aware that
only
it's the
thing I
playoffs?
could think of is that basically he thought that they were going to call that a penalty.
I do think that
and
that's
that's
part of
why
what
he
happened.
let off.
But
And
still,
it just took a second to register.
Yeah.
Like they're not calling it. Again, you got to play till the whistle.
or not? Apparently,
unless you're Cale Makar.
yeah.
then-
Cale Makar should not be playing to the whistle.
and it's tough when you look at it. And we had this conversation. I know Chat's been talking about it. Matt Nieto on the second line. And you don't love Matt Nieto up there. I'm not going to make any argument, but who are you going to put there? The Avs bottom six has 0 goals in this series.
Well, you were hoping that he would raise his play because he does have a little bit of a skill set, especially like the stick handling, the passing. It wasn't there tonight. I don't know if it was just too big of a moment playing against, guys that he's not used to playing against. They're a little bit more skilled.
haven't seen anything. You know, and like it's not even like it's. I know Alex Newhook is like the shiny guy, like the first round pick.
No
the
one
young
has
guy.
stepped up and earned it.
But I mean, you're talking. You haven't gotten any offense, and as much as I've liked Lars Eller in general in Colorado,
the offense isn't there.
the one
at
thing
all,
that we have consistently said, no matter how good you are at all other phases of the game, if you're a forward, you
gotta
have
score.
to produce.
You gotta
offense.
score.
You have to produce offense eventually. You're 5 games in and haven't done any of it.
Yep.
Done any. I mean, Logan O'Connor, Andrew Cogliano, Alex Newhook, Dennis Malgin, Lars Eller. I guess I'll throw Ben Myers in there because he's played.
A little different with him, I think. But
you look on the other side of the ice, you have a guy in his first playoff
yeah, scoring goals.
score a goal.
And the Avs bottom six,
Well, I will say, what's the difference between that guy's situation and the situation of a guy like Alex Newhook? That guy's playing next to Matty Beniers.
He gets a
Yeah,
good
true,
player and he
yeah.
gets time on ice. You're not wrong. But you're in the playoffs. You have these lines, and you're asking for someone to go out and show you something that you're willing to take a chance on moving them up. And it's not just that they're not scoring. It's that, as AJ put it about Eller, the offense is non-existent for the Avs depth right now.
He was there for Eller for 1 shift.
Yep. And that's it. Look, does Seattle have the advantage in the depth? Sure. Should Seattle be giving up 0 goals in 5 games to the Avs bottom 6? No.
And honestly, this is one of the few areas where I think you can look at Jared Bednar and say he's being too stubborn.
Yeah.
Because the Matt Nieto thing, Dennis Malgin is a guy at least that down the stretch was giving you goals when you need it. Was at least
there's some
involved in
offensive
offense.
ability there, yeah.
And you're not putting. And I will also say, Bednar did everything he could with the lines
But
tonight.
it was a blender for sure.
Literally every combination that you would really want to see at some point popped out there eventually.
Yep.
But it.
On the new hook front, do you think it is like who he's playing with? Because remember last year, Bednar just sat him in the playoffs.
I don't think who he's playing with is helping him generate any offense.
I mean,
sure.
we saw Newhook and LOC and Cogliano have life as a group during the season.
Yep.
Lars Eller showed up. They took that away. They went away from it because Lars Eller. And then they tried to go back to it when they were desperate to try and kickstart offense. And it was like, I guess it just doesn't work like that.
The thing
And
is,
at the same time, I want to reiterate that I don't know that there's a lever Bednar can pull
yeah.
to get offense out of bottom 6 guys.
Yep. And I think a lot of that conversation, and to clarify here, Newhook should be able to do more by himself, I think, to earn a little bit more opportunity. But we watched LOC's offense fall off of a cliff this year. Beyond just, like, obviously what he was doing early wasn't sustainable. But it went from, a guy who's not finishing his opportunities to a guy who is generating nothing in these playoffs. And I don't have a good solution for Colorado there. They just need more out of those guys.
Yep. So the thing is, they've made their bed being a top end team or a top heavy team.
Yeah.
Salary wise, they're spending their money on top guys. That's fine. You win cups with top guys.
Totally.
That's just how it goes. Seattle's not winning the Stanley Cup this year. Like, hate to break it to Kraken fans. They're not going to win the Stanley Cup this year. And a big reason why, because they're not going to have the top end guys.
Yeah.
When you go through the annals of history, those guys that win Stanley Cups at the top of their rosters go into Hall of Fames, and they, know, they're immortalized in their cities, and they have jersey retirements, and like you spend money on top guys. You make that choice. When they become expensive, you keep them. You don't move on from them because they're the best at what they do. It makes it harder. It makes it harder to build quality depth. But then when you lose out, when you don't have...
When the top guys disappear for injury or whatever reason.
Yeah, and I'm not even thinking about Landeskog here. I'm just thinking purely about Nichushkin here.
Yeah.
It's hard for those guys to step up. And we saw this as a problem all year. We saw it as a problem with JT Compher. JT Compher had a 50-point season. Yep. Whoever they go out and get in the offseason and whatever their answer is to trying to get a 2C next year, I guarantee you, their goal is we want about a 50-point season out of that guy. Because that's a reasonable expectation for a 2C.
Yep.
But what you're going to want is a guy that you feel more comfortable is going to be there. Because so far through five postseason games, JT Compher hasn't been.
Yep.
And I think, to be honest with you, I think it's getting worse.
I agree.
In the series. I think his play is declining. And that's a huge concern, obviously, as the series is not over. You don't want a guy that is supposed to be one of the few guys that is trusted in getting 20 minutes a night.
That's a huge concern for him as well, going into free agency.
He's going to get paid. He'll be fine. But you're absolutely right in that postseason performance is one of those things that gives a guy maybe instead of $5 million, he gets $5.5 million.
That's what I mean. You're leaving money on the table.
Absolutely, man. And somebody should let him know. Hey,
that's teams see a 50-point season and go, and then if they see, he had 2 points in 6 games as a 2C.
Yeah. Well, and then you look at past track record and et cetera, et cetera. You know. This is not JT Compher's first rodeo as Colorado's second-line center in a postseason
and it's
series.
Never gone great.
So, you do look at it, and the season's not over, so we don't need to get into all this.
For sure.
Yeah. The reason we're talking about Compher is because Compher is one of the main guys that you're looking at right now.
That you need more out of.
Compher and MacKinnon, you're saying, hey, you needed more out of these cats. Because as much as you could be frustrated with Nathan MacKinnon tonight and Mikko Rantanen, like these guys are on the score sheet.
Yep.
Those guys made plays that led to goals.
And the effort level was there.
And certainly from
MacKinnon.
Certainly you can't look at Nathan MacKinnon and say he needs to try harder. If anything, he maybe needs to relax a little more. And instead of playing 27 minutes, play 22 minutes. So what we talked about in the pregame, I think he's wearing down his own top guys by being too reliant on them. But it is a world where if you're Jared Bednar and you're down by 2 goals in the third period, are you really not going to be like every other shift? Nate,
Nate, he was doing
Nate,
that.
Please.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what I would say to Nathan MacKinnon if he's going to play at that level is, hey, if you feel it's on you that much, okay, but do it with your body. The cute stuff, you're not going to get it there. Put your head down and go through somebody if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, I mean it's of course, and again, too easy, right?
Yep.
For us to sit here and say he needs to change what he's doing. He has a 2-point night and the Avs scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
And like they're both incredibly lucky goals. Like you get very fortunate on both goals. They're bounces.
That's part of hockey.
The first one I can say at least a good play was put together.
Well, exactly. McKinnon's in the crease. He goes to the net. They throw a puck to the net. You're like, hey, this is kind of what
stuff happens in there.
Exactly.
And
you're like this is the general idea here.
Yeah.
The Erod one is total goal. So,
That
it's
actual
hilarious.
nonsense, yeah. That goal went in, so the hockey god said, "You guys can't complain about bounces in this hockey game."
Just missing on the New Hook pick, man. Miss me with this bullshit.
That's nonsense.
New Hook isn't a bust. They didn't miss on the pick. I know that there are people out there who are like, oh, I wish we'd taken Colt Caulfield. Well, he got picked the pick before.
Yeah,
so there's
not a
nothing you can do
choice.
about that shit. But you look at New Hook and it's like this is the guy that you guys are trying to bag on. It's literally happening right now.
Yep.
And you've got a guy in JT Conver getting 20 minutes a night and has done very, very, very little.
I just don't name any player in the Avs bottom six.
Yeah,
that has done more than Alex
literally
Newhook.
pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one because
Any
they
of
all,
them.
for the
Any of them.
record, they all make more money than Alex Newhook does, except Dennis Morgan.
I just
Not
don't like
wrong.
the bus talk with like young players.
Well,
I
especially
mean, you heard it from people too. There was a cohort of people that were like, McKinnon's a bust.
Well, look,
His sophomore year, you're like,
if Alex Newhook was 22 toiling away in the AHL, maybe you can have that conversation. But he's an NHL
for the
player.
record, you've got in back-to-back draft classes, you have guys taken with the same exact pick in Martin Kaut and Alex Newhook. Which one would you take right now?
Newhook every time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can look at Newhook and you can feel how you feel about, oh, you wish there was a little more there. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
But he's giving you back-to-back 30-point seasons in a bottom six role, mind you. It's not like this guy's playing in a top role and not producing points. He is doing it at an efficient rate, and almost all of them are 5v5 points. Like, that, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
It's fair to want more from him.
Without calling him a bust.
There's a world in between here.
Yep.
And we've talked this season where if his game doesn't take a big leap, then
disappointing.
instead of replacing Kadri, he might be the guy that replaces Comfer.
Yep.
As that versatile
All around the lineup.
middle
yeah.
six guy that kind of fits in and can give you some offense everywhere. Yeah. So and we're seeing, I mean, it's just he's not even the story here.
Yep.
Like he's you could be like, oh, he's not done anything, but
him as an individual, I don't know is even in the top 10 of Colorado's problems.
so, you've got Logan O'Connor and Andrew Cogliano, who are like huge parts of your cup run, who've done nothing.
At times tonight, you're looking at guys like LOC making just horrible decisions with the puck and actively hurting your team. And it's just bad. Anyway, we're brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. You can get yours here at the bar, 8 different kinds on tap. Look, Friday night could be the last game of the Avs season. You guys might as well come down and pack the place, right? Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully they play Sunday too. But you don't know. That's why they play the games, because you're going to find out one way or another. So do that. If you can't make it down, get your Breck Brew at your local liquor store. Use the Breck Beer Locator online to find it near you. And we're also brought to you by Fubo TV. You can catch the Avs on Friday on Fubo TV. You can catch a whole bunch of other stuff too. They've got ESPN. Fortunately, they don't have TBS, so
TBS, TNT, True TV.
Yep.
All that like family of
that
channels.
the whoever owns them, I don't
Turner.
remember. Is it Turner? Of course, it's Turner. TBS, TNT. I should have known. Yeah.
Turner Broadcasting.
Yeah,
System.
that is what that stands for. Don't have
They
that,
weren't hiding from you, brother.
but they do have ESPN. They do have Altitude, while you can still watch the Avs and Nuggets that way. The 140 other channels too. Really, like, I don't understand why this is such a thing, because it's just a cable package. Like, literally, that's what Fubo is a cable network that provides you with this. It's just you use an app that you turn on your smart TV and it's on like television, the same way you would turn on a normal TV. So if you want television, if you want the easy way to watch stuff, Fubo TV is the way to do it. Go to FuboTV.com/DNVR when you order, or use the QR code on screen. You get 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
I like that you explained that to people that are on the internet right now.
I know,
watching
but like
show.
the number one argument I hear of people is like, oh, I hate streaming because it's too hard and I gotta go do so many things. And it's like, okay, then get Fubo. This is who this is built for. Is you just turn it on and then the stuff's on your TV. Second period of this game. I hate that we have to do this again, but that's a trip as we're watching Nathan MacKinnon get tripped on the TV right now.
Yeah, you're at 1-1
Yep.
in the second period, and Nathan MacKinnon gets tripped in the offensive zone with the puck.
Yep.
Two things here. It's a trip.
It's a trip.
It should be called. Just give me a break with this bullshit. He trips him. He clips him with his skate. If you turn around and make an argument of, oh, well, he didn't mean to, now we're penalizing intent.
Yeah.
Now we've decided that we know what people are thinking or trying or whatever.
You my entire life, every penalty, it doesn't matter what your intent was. Did you trip him or not?
It's a trip, dude.
I've never known a single NHL player that has tripped someone on purpose. Two-handers, they'll do that on purpose. Never seen someone trip someone on purpose.
I mean, on breakaways and shit, but
Even then, it's usually more of a hack than it is a trip or a hook where you yank him.
you're allowed to trip when the guy gets a breakaway.
I mean, you're not, but like you
get the
mind
green
it
light
less.
from the coach.
Yeah,
no one's going to be
exactly.
mad about
Yeah.
the penalty,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, point is, it's a trip. It should have been called.
yep.
Where you do have a problem here from MacKinnon.
He just gives up on the play
Well,
entirely.
all the bitching and the whining and the complaining to the referee is slow to get back.
Yep.
And who's the guy that replaces him on the ice?
JT Comfer, who's
JT
late back
Compher.
into the play. Yeah.
Who's the guy that is a quarter second late getting back on coverage?
Yep.
On what turns out to be that goal?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's JT Compher. So the Mac thing, double-edged sword there.
Totally.
Except it's not really. It's like both ends of the sword just stab
Yep.
the Avs.
Someone else's sword and then your own sword.
Yeah, there you go. Sure, that works for me. Because you just, I mean, he's just, it's, you understand he's upset. He got tripped.
Yeah.
They didn't call it. It's not the first time in this game he's been tripped and have it not called.
Yeah.
And that's, so you can understand the frustration. But at the same time, in the same way that people crucified Landy for getting off the ice too slowly
Yep.
in San Jose, that quarter second
It mattered.
makes
It
makes a
mattered,
difference
absolutely.
here. Because if Compher is able to get out there just a little bit faster, because MacKinnon's being an adult about this, that's where I can understand frustration with MacKinnon.
Yeah.
For me, he's doing absolutely everything that he can.
Totally.
And I don't really have a problem with him throwing a bitch fit at the ref because the ref failed in his basic function of his job.
A critical failure by the referee.
Yeah,
No doubt.
and it leads to a goal against, which is like the thing that like I don't think that the ref wants to do that. I don't
No.
think he's out there trying to make that.
I don't think
make
so
that
either.
happen.
He still got a call wrong that directly led to a terrible thing.
Exactly, and that's one where you're like, hey, dude, like public accountability.
Yep.
Once again, TJ Luxmore having to go out and talk. I feel like TJ Luxmore's just like
Taking L's right
yeah,
now.
he's
yeah.
just like all watch along. I was like, TJ Luxmore.
Well, and
you and your stupid giraffe
And
neck.
look, the conversation that you have here,
Unbelievable.
the conversation that you have here is that the best, you guys? Is that the best referee in the world? Is that why he's in the playoffs? Because he's the best?
Yeah.
And he's making that mistake?
Yeah.
Then you guys need help. You guys need AI or technology that tracks. You guys need help. If that's the best referees the NHL has to offer, it's not good enough.
I would say I have a problem with the way that Butch Gross calls games in general because he sucks at it.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Don't disagree. But we're off topic with this. And as
Me
we
throwing a temper tantrum that he's bad at his job too.
as we have this conversation, while this play directly led to a goal against for Colorado,
Which AJ called.
As it was happening.
the
Yep,
reffing,
yep.
we have as much problem with the reffing just being objectively bad for both teams in this series as anything else.
It has been awful.
Yep.
It seems like that's just a pattern that's going on in the NHL.
Yeah.
League-wide.
I don't know that there's anybody sitting in their series right now who feels like this officiating has been
and
great.
It sucks because that narrative, like that's not what you want to see after games.
No.
Is that it's the reffing, right? The reffing and watching everybody post reviews of missed calls or
Yep.
what's this call,
Yeah.
right? And I
Do
think
you see Rachel Dory on Twitter has a running thread of brutally missed calls.
Oh, yeah.
It started with one specific thing and then branched out into, hey, look, this didn't get called. This didn't get called. This didn't get called. And it's just shining this big bright light on
this massive problem.
well, you
Yeah.
don't,
You're
as the
trying-
NHL, you don't want that.
yeah, and as players, as fans, you don't want that officiating is having this level of impact
Yeah.
on games every single night. I'm almost sitting here just being like, can we just go back to where you guys just didn't call any penalties?
Yeah.
Well,
The only thing you guys are going to call is delay a game, and you guys are just out there to like cash some checks. You guys are going to be this awful. Let's just let everything
Just make
go.
sure it doesn't get out of hand.
well, the thing about
Good Lord, man. This is so awful to watch.
the thing about them not calling anything, and Blaze, you said this last year, or maybe even before that to me, is at least if they're calling nothing, you know nothing's getting called.
Yeah.
Because when it's calling random stuff, nobody on the ice has any idea what they can and can't do.
Well, and especially tonight, right? Like, we're just talking about that trip
Yeah.
that wasn't called.
And then he
And
taps
then he
McKinnon on the
taps
shin.
him.
Yeah. Tolman
And
and
they
taps
call
him.
that. Like,
Yeah.
that again, like, where justify that.
Well, and when you talk about, so what is it? What ends up being the game winning goal tonight? To tip in front. For a Yanni Gord on a point shot. Go back to Colorado's first power play and watch Arturi Lehkonen get full on
just hard cross check before the
hard
puck's even there.
cross-checked.
Yeah.
Well, the puck has not appeared on your screen
Yep.
yet.
Yep.
Jamie Alexiak full on, two
Just
hands him in the
bodies
back.
him. Yep.
And you're like, look, you're shooting from the point trying to get a tip.
Yep.
You're trying to get your guy to tip it, not what
That's
Erod
why
did.
he's down there. Is to
You're
touch the
trying to
puck.
get you're trying to get that exact tip. Jamie Alexiak does that. Two hands that guy. Full on cross checks him in the back. All good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Colorado on the other end. Yanni Gord, it should have been two hands. It should have been right in the middle of his back because dare them to call it at this point.
Yeah.
And the Avs have had a huge discipline problem in this series.
For sure.
You know, you look at their game 4 loss and you look at you look at penalties.
Yep.
The 2 power play goals get scored.
One in
That's
overtime that
curtains.
just
Like,
ends the
that's
game
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That discipline's been a huge problem, but also, my goodness, man, it is very frustrating that these are the things that we continue to talk about.
Yep.
And I don't want anybody to get this twisted. The Avs got beat tonight.
Yeah, no,
And they
100%.
deserve it.
100%.
No, I was
beat.
just saying, like, league wide, like, you're looking at people's, like, replays of, you know,
Everywhere it's
missed
bad.
calls
It's
everywhere where
bad.
you're like, you're agreeing with it. Like, yeah, this is bad. Like, that's not what the NHL wants right
Yeah.
now. That's what you don't want this during the playoffs. It should be about the play, the game that's going on, the teams that are beating the other teams, the upsets that are happening. And instead, league wide, it's about what the refs are missing.
Chat, I think tonight was disappointing. I think tonight was frustrating.
Very frustrating.
I think you can be pretty frustrated with this Avs team. If this is the most embarrassing team you've ever seen, are you new to sports?
Welcome to your
Yeah.
first or second year as an Avalanche fan.
Oh, you don't have to go very far back.
I promise it will get a whole lot worse than this.
It goes in cycles.
And I think, to me, the most disappointing and frustrating part of this game was after the Avs go down 2-1. The second and third periods, there just was not a lot there from Colorado. And that's where you really start to feel like, you know what? Colorado doesn't have it.
This geeky goal kills me, man.
Yeah.
Three guys in the box.
Dude, it just kills me.
Yeah.
He just wings it, and it goes off Tay's skate and directly in the
Dude.
5-hole.
Do you guys feel like the intensity is there for, like, does this feel like a playoff game tonight? If you just take it out of context.
No,
like
this feels like when Seattle walked in and beat the Avs in November.
Yeah.
Actually, it was
not
October.
The first period felt like a playoff game.
I don't think it did.
I thought it did.
I didn't feel like the intensity ever got ramped
that was
up on
like
either
a lot
side.
Of perimeter shooting. There wasn't a lot of.
I feel like
hitting
it's
going
two.
on.
I feel like it's two teams that are playing very, very cautiously right now.
I
and
agree with that.
We just watched a game get decided by bounces.
Yep. I yes and no. But
I mean, 4 of the 5 goals are garbage.
I understand what you're saying.
I guess 3
but-
of the 5 goals. 2 of the. I mean, I'm counting their second goal as garbage because of the officiating. It's not a bounce. Just one of the things that's out of your control that
would
goes your
lean
way.
way more
Anyway.
into that theory if it felt like the Avs generated opportunities and their bounces didn't go their way. But I just don't think, particularly after going down 2-1, that the Avs just didn't generate enough.
You think we sound like whiny children because the refs swallowed their whistles? They haven't, though. If they were swallowing their whistles, Nathan MacKinnon wouldn't have drawn a penalty for getting tapped on the ankle.
We literally counterbalanced that argument with saying that thing on Nathan MacKinnon was nothing.
Jesus.
It's nonsense. Nonsense all the way
Can't
around.
talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that guy.
Look, if the Avs can't find something else in their game, can't find something else in the tank, they're going to lose in 6. And we've said that this whole series. If the Avs can't find a better gear, they're going to lose. So it's now do or die time.
Yep.
There's now no more tomorrow to go find the gear.
Well, you got to win 2 in a row now.
Yep.
Or you're done.
Yep. So it's as simple as that from Colorado's perspective. And if the game goes out there and it looks like this in Game 6 and the Avs lose, then Seattle was just better.
Yep.
Like,
And
Yeah, tip
and
your
then
hat
you
to him and-
and you talk about, look, it was a bridge too far.
yep.
Losing the Nichushkin, losing Makar, maybe they would have lost the series anyway.
we'll
Obviously,
never
Makar is
know.
back
Yeah.
in Game 6, but we don't know what tonight looks like if they have Kale Makar. The Avs played with some decent enough energy early on in the game. If you have a guy like that to make a difference, you never know. But it could just be it's just a bridge too far.
Hopefully we see an angry Makar on Friday night.
I just play quality hockey.
Yeah.
If the
Angry
Avs come
Makar
out there
plays
and put a quality
hockey.
effort, that's all you can ask. Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are brought to you by Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel merchandiser of DNVR. You can't really see it from this camera. I don't know if you can see it from the other camera either, but we have a sick hat. Check this out. I'll describe it. See? Look at that. Look at that beauty right there. You can get that from Pins and Aces if you want to support some Avs colors out on the golf course. They also have shirts, pants, shoes, hats, all sorts of other stuff too, like the liquor stick and the beer sleeve that you can put in your golf bag. You're looking good. Doesn't even have to be on the golf course too. You know, you can wear it out to a nice dinner or something like that. AJ and I not really the biggest nice clothes people out here, so Blaze wearing a hoodie over there. But
I'm all nice clothes all the time.
I mean, you got to dress up when you go to the USA hockey events and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
at least.
yeah.
So
I have some suits.
I am
sometime.
dressed up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pins and Aces make you look good, either on the golf course or just in your daily life. Go check them out, pinsandaces.com. Use the DNVR code to get 15% off your entire order.
Man, no injuries were worse than the Dallas series.
No, by a lot.
You guys remember that Game 7 lineup?
Oh my
I went-
goodness.
Yeah. I went back and looked at that Game 7 lineup just for funsies to see the list of scratches, and I was like, I did not properly appreciate how competitive that game was.
Do the Avs make you want to drink and you're hungover in the morning?
Yes.
Wear Shady Rays to cover up your eyes.
Perfect.
So people can't tell. You're
See
good
you
to
tomorrow
go.
morning, Shady Rays.
They're also good sunglasses
I'm taking
as
them
well.
to bed with me.
You're gonna sleep with them
Yeah,
on?
I'm gonna sleep with them on.
Also good sunglasses just for, actually protecting your eyes from the sun too. You can go check them out at shadyrays.com today. Use the DNVR code. You get 50% off when you order 2 pairs of sunglasses or more. And if you break them, lose them, or just don't like them, send them back or, tell them you broke them or lost them, rather. You can't send them back then. But they'll replace them for you in the first 30 days. So give them a look. If you're local, go to the Park Meadows Mall. They have a brick and mortar down there too. shadyrays.com. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. How do the Avs do better? Is it entirely just execution? Is it entirely just make better decisions with the puck?
I mean, the execution's got to be there. Tonight it was just it's infuriating watching, and I know there's another team out on the ice, but just the easy passes that should be connecting that are just not there. There was so many just blow ups, like pucks just jumping off sticks when they shouldn't have, that take you out of scoring chances, that take you out of being in spots where you're not putting your team in a bad spot in the defensive zone. It
Yeah.
was bad tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, kind of all around, too. It's not like you can pick out one guy.
No.
No.
I think which is so funny to me, because we walked in from a regular season where Sam Girard could do no.
And he's been
Right.
their steadiest defenseman in the playoffs.
We haven't talked about him at all in the
Yeah.
postseason. It's been fine. Hasn't been great. Hasn't been bad. Just kind of out there.
Meanwhile, every second that Josh Manson touches the puck, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, and then
He's
Manson
gotta be
doesn't
playing.
finish the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing
They're-
hurt.
And
Yeah.
something's up. Yeah. And you watch him tonight and you're like, slow, man. Everything was slow.
Yep.
Where I'm just like, Brad Hunt needs to come in, man. Like, this is bad.
Not good when you have both the Johnsons out there and Manson playing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, those three
And
guys,
And no Cale McCarr at the top to help.
Yeah.
Well, and you've
Like,
watched.
you're just like, oh my
it's-
God, dude.
You've watched a Colorado team that you're so used to. They can outskate a lot of their problems.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
you watch Josh Manson and Eric Johnson's hips turn in slow motion every time they go back to retrieve a puck.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no.
Yeah, and that's where I know people in chat have mentioned that the Avs look a little old. I think that's a weird take, just given
Very weird take, yeah.
their oldest guys are the Johnsons and Cogliano.
I mean, I think Eric Johnson looks
And
old,
Eller?
but beyond Eric Johnson,
Yeah, but we're also talking about, hey, the depth is where we want better.
Yep.
Well, guess where all their age is?
Under 27.
I mean, that's where all the high age guys it's their depth.
Is it though?
Depth
Like,
on D.
I guess with Eller, I
Yes.
guess with Eller that
you
there's
have
more.
Eller, Cogliano.
Yeah.
You have the Johnsons.
Okay. Oh, if you're adding the D depth, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying your depth. We've been talking about their depth has hurt them because Colorado's not getting enough help. And you say where's their age coming from? It's their depth. Some of it, there's no excuse for a new hook in LOC and Ben Myers and
Yeah.
on and on and on and on. But you've needed better from those guys. You've just needed better from everybody, man.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
There's no need to single out anyone because they're all bad.
There really isn't. You could look at absolutely anybody. You got Bowen Byram with an opportunity tonight to step up and really put an imprint on a
does
series.
not.
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Just doesn't do anything.
Is entirely ineffective in the offensive zone.
So, and tonight, the third period tonight is the first time all season long. All season, because this team has scrapped
Yep.
and clawed, even within this own series.
Yep.
We have seen them scrap and claw and fight their way back into it and compete. And the third period tonight was the first time they didn't do that.
It felt like they
And
felt like it was done.
They
Yeah.
got a lucky goal with the Erod goal, and then we had a really interesting final 90 seconds.
Some of the weirdest hockey I've ever watched.
Some really, really interesting.
I don't know someone with an empty net I've ever seen it turn over that many times in the neutral zone and it not end up in their net.
So Erod with the block, and then you had the one.
immediately gives it away.
You have the one sequence where I don't remember which one of the Kraken players has it.
Cuts down the far wall.
Yeah, and he's standing below the
Just
face-off dot,
holding
just
it.
standing there, and then dumps it.
Yeah.
and
Well-
skates away, and you're like,
He was looking for someone to pass to, and they were just all.
you're just like, what the hell? Just you didn't even try.
You don't even try to shoot it at the net. Like maybe you get lucky.
It was so
Just flip
dude.
it
It
up.
was so crazy, man. It was so crazy.
And then there were like 2 more turnovers after that
and
still didn't result in
then
goals.
the Avs got a decent scoring chance or two out of it.
Yeah.
You had MacKinnon with a one-timer and Lehkonen again in front.
Yep.
And it was just like, I don't know what the hell I'm watching. This is the weirdest ending to a hockey game.
Let's get to our king of the game. I got to tell you, we had a really tough
Perfectly
one.
timed as chat asks for Pavel Francouz.
Please. We're giving it to Georgiev because while we don't think Georgiev played great, he didn't give up that extra one.
Yeah, could have been worse is pretty much how we feel.
Yep.
Because when you look at the end,
That's the saddest king of the game.
well,
Could have been worse.
you look
That's
at the
where it was at tonight, man.
You look at the end, and he is stopping
Yep.
2-on-1s. He is stopping
Yep.
that breakaway. The only reason that there was a last gasp at this at all is because Georgiev was solid.
The nonsense goal from Erod only makes it 3-2
And
because
you look
Georgiev
at-
kept it from going 5-1.
and you look
Like,
at the 3 goals against. The first goal, you do not like the rebound he gives up, but again, it is absolute schoolyard bullshit that goes in on him.
Yep.
Goal number 2 is a defensive coverage breakdown.
Yep.
Where that is not on a goaltender to stop that puck.
No.
Goal number 3 is a perfect tip from in
Yep.
front that goes that still goes post and in.
Unstoppable.
You are
Genuinely.
half an inch from that thing doing nothing.
Yep.
Well, on goal 2, he was screened. He never even saw that.
Well, and coming across the ice, and
Yeah.
he's coming. Give me a break with this. That guy's wide open
You
over there.
cannot
That's
generate a higher
joke.
danger chance than that. Like, it's hard to put any of this on Georgiev.
and tonight, like the only reason I didn't want to give it to MacKinnon, who finished with a goal and an assist.
It's because his goal is nonsense.
Both points are
His assist is nonsense.
Both goals are total nonsense. And it's the mistake. It's the complaining to the ref
That cost.
and not changing, and it turns into a problem the other way.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know, part of that is, look, if Nathan MacKinnon wants to be that guy that has to do it all himself, then he has to go out and do it. And he couldn't do it tonight. So, yeah, Avs are in a tough spot. I don't have a ton else to say about this game, so we can get to the Super Chats. $2 from Sasha, who says, not too upset. Guess I'm spoiled from last year.
Man, I think this is a fair take too. Like, I know there are people that are living and dying with this team. All like more power to you. That's awesome. But I think last year kind of is the solvent for the disappointment of this whole fucking season. Honestly, this whole season has just been frustrating and disappointing on so many levels.
And as disappointing and frustrated as I am with this game and the Avs playing it, the game's over. You take a look at the big picture and you go, I mean, this team still has done a lot of impressive stuff this year.
Cale Makar will be back for Game 6,
Yep.
and you have a fighting chance. The series is not over.
Not by any stretch.
You know, anybody that says it's over right now, and if they end up being right and they lose in 6, like
they could.
take a victory lap,
There's a
I
reason they
guess?
play the games, but also the Avs didn't fluke their way into 2 wins in this series. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you, Sasha. $20 from Greg, who says, disappointing outcome, but we love the DNVR crew. Keep up the good work, fam. Yacht fund out here. Yeah.
I mean, all love.
Yeah, of course.
We, obviously we're here with you guys every game. You know, this is what we do. This is what we want to do. You guys are here consuming it, so it's all,
Yep. We appreciate you, especially, unless you're one of the people in the chat who doesn't appreciate us and just hates us. And in that case,
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, enjoy getting your rocks off to the hate watch, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we appreciate y'all a lot. This will come later. $2 from Sergeant Pickles says, GG guys, bad calls aside, has been very entertaining.
Yeah, I wish I could appreciate the series from a hockey perspective more. I think watching neutral parties on Twitter talk about how fun of a series it's been, I feel like I'm missing something. But
I don't.
The investment.
okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I haven't gotten to like enjoy the
Yeah.
series because of where we are. On
I
it.
No,
did
you like
not.
think about it. Like when you're watching the East Coast play, right, and it's
Yeah.
not a team that you're invested in. When those series go 7 games and those
Oh,
games
yeah.
are close and they're going to OT
Yeah.
and it's a 1-goal game, those are great. They're
The
fun to watch.
only-
You don't want to watch blowouts.
The only games in this series that there was 3-1 game 1 and it was 6-4 game 3.
Yeah.
So otherwise, this is. I mean, you're talking about 1-goal games here.
But it's been
And-
back and forth,
well,
and there's been comebacks in them.
Even game
it's
3
fun-
was
fun hockey
3-3
to
at
watch.
one point, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, we've had multiple games in this series. We've had 3 games in this series tied going into the third period.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're a neutral observer, you're like, yes, please.
and
That is what I would like to have.
And I think games 2, 3, and 4 were all really fun.
I do agree.
Game 1, I don't think was that fun. I don't think this game was that fun either.
Yeah,
to be
I don't
honest
think
with you.
this wasn't a.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe 6 will be fun too.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see.
$5 from Easton, who says, I just thought maybe the mad push at the end of the season could carry over, but after this game, the boys just look tired.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they look spent. They look
Yep.
like we. They look like we feel.
Yep.
Too. Like.
It's been a long season.
Well, and we feel this way. I've said this on Twitter a couple times in the last few days. I can't imagine how those guys feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Showing up to work every day, that uncertainty, that drama. I think I really am leaning more and more towards them. We didn't talk about it much when it happened. We're not going to continue to talk about it as an incident itself.
For sure.
But just the Nichushkin disappearance.
It's like the last straw.
And
I think
it's like-
disappearance like he
yeah.
was kidnapped. I mean, the
Leaving
Nichushkin
the team,
Nichushkin leaving the team mid-series, it just felt like
The 1,000th straw on the camel's
exactly.
back. Yeah.
It just
And the
more and more has felt like they just, the game 4 was after that is the dead cat bounce.
Yep.
Or game 3.
Yeah.
It's the dead cat bounce. And then after that, you're just like, look, everybody talks about what the Avs record was without Cale Makar. Look at it without Val Nichushkin. And then look at it without both.
Weird saying, dead cat bounce.
but even looking
Cats
like,
usually
from
live long falls.
Well, you have 9 lives, probably.
they land on their feet.
Yeah. Well, Then their feet go through their body, and then they bounce, and
Well, the other part too, right? Like, think about it from the fans' perspective,
Bruto's dark
from the
like I am.
outside of it, is all year long you've been hearing Landeskog is going to be back for the playoffs.
Well, and like we'll get healthy, we'll get healthy.
And we'll get healthy. Like, that's from the outside. Like, think about how exciting that is. Like, and like how much of a bummer it was just for the fans of Landy's not going to be back. Now put that, as the team.
Well,
As
and
the guys that are looking forward to that coming, having Landeskog.
we don't
back.
even have to be able to see chat to know that there's going to be somebody who's like, Nate said that he knew a month ago or whatever.
No, I can't do it again. Move on.
Still doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It changes the dynamic.
$25 from the Incredible Drew, who says, I'll accept losses where the other team deserves to win, like Seattle did. I hate to keep bringing up the same point, but at this point, the game would be more fair if there were 0 officials on the ice. Accountability.
I would say let players call their own fouls, but then I watch the NBA and I'm like, oh, we would have a free throw shooting contest. Got it.
I don't know that you would in the NHL, because if there was someone that kept calling the same fouls, that dude would get run through the boards.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Schwartz definitely wouldn't be fucking dolphin diving in overtime, but whatever. I'm over it.
I would be fine with it
still
if
mad.
it was just basically like, if there's a change of possession and it's a penalty, you call it. If it's, anything
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
else, you just swallow your whistle.
Yeah, and don't do any of this acting. I hate
Yeah.
the, which I think is becoming more and more of a storyline that
I
we're
think so,
watching
too.
it play out in this series, that Seattle has figured out that they are going to get the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
If they go down,
If they
yeah.
go down, which was frustrating because MacKinnon legitimately,
opposite. The exact
legitimately gets
opposite.
tripped twice.
Yeah.
Draws 0 calls, gets love tapped once and draws a call. And just Colorado's luck in this game, but
It carries over
both power
between
plays
periods,
are split
yeah.
between periods, which are the lowest percentage power plays out there.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is the thing we talk about all the, and almost an even split, a minute each.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a minute 10, I think. Yeah.
You're and each time you're not talking like 15 seconds on one side or whatever.
Yep.
No, man.
$5 from Kyle, who
public
says
shit.
Lehkonen sitting on his ass when Cartier scored. The goal perfectly sums up the series for the Avs. Frustrating. Yeah, I mean, there was a ton
Pick a
of
guy.
really bad. Manson is covering nothing. Lehkonen's
Yeah.
trying to play goalie. Confer's late, even if that is McKinnon's fault. Like,
Yeah. Pick a guy on that. It's bad breakdown of coverage.
yep.
Yeah.
By everybody.
It was all bad. $5 from Craven? Yeah, Craven, who says, this so far is not the postseason I'd hoped for.
Yeah, no kidding, man. That is a succinct way to put disappointment.
It's not over, though. $2 more from Craven. Oh, wait, was that the same one? I don't know. Thank you, Craven. I don't know what that one said, but we appreciate it. $5 from Aaron, who says, sporting a shiny new Newey jersey. Met him last season in Seattle. That's my boy.
Well, he's awesome. He's a great young kid.
Yep. We'll get into this on another day, but I really think a kid that give him another 2 years to fill out, and then we'll see.
I love it. The kid. When I saw him at that USA event,
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
is that new Hook
child?
or is that a child? Like, I was
Yeah.
like, as I was walking by him, I was like, I'm not sure. I'm
You
not
still
gonna
look
say
at him
anything.
and you're like,
I feel old enough to call them kids now. Like,
oh, totally. I'm sorry, but once you have your 30th birthday, you look at people who are 21 and
Yeah.
you're like, hello, young child.
$5 from the Schick, who says, maybe being on the brink is the desperation we need. I still have some faith.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I said it at the top. I've said it all series. I don't think the situation matters that much. The Avs just have to go out and play better.
Yeah.
Yep. And we've talked all about, this year about the character and the fight and the whatever. But we're going to see them in a situation we haven't seen them in a while.
Yep.
They were never on the brink last year.
Yep.
They were never behind in a series. They were never pushed, whatever. Hey, when they were behind in this series, they responded with their best play of the series. So,
Yep.
not in the first period of that game, of
But they
course.
got it
but
together.
They got there, and those middle games were the best games of the series. Yeah.
Yep. By a good margin. Thank you very much. $10 from Monkinator, who says, I appreciate you guys doing pods on nights like tonight. Wins are always fun, but the pod on losses always helps me feel a bit better. Appreciate all you fine folks at DNVR.
There are some nights we would love to just go home.
Absolutely, but we're always here. We got you.
Yep.
That's the life.
True.
And I love every minute of it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Not every minute of it.
I still love it.
There are 11 minutes I could find where I would not. I don't love.
Still love it in the end, though.
Dude, totally.
$5 from Candlejack, who says, this hurts, but I'm still along for the ride, however long that may be. If we go out Friday, so be it. I've accepted it. I just want to see a genuine push.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable expectation, and whatever happens, happens.
Well, the fan base as a whole is starting to settle into the
reality.
Yeah.
damn.
Yep.
But we'll see.
$10 from Melanie, who says, major bummer, not much to say. They have to find it in themselves. Can they? Yes. Will they? We shall see. Yep. Just play that clip for our pregame of Game 6 and call it good. $5 from Paper Dolls, who says, this one just hurt my heart. On to Game 6.
Yeah. Tell Lecky to play better, please.
$2 from Brahma Bull, who says, it has been a cursed season. Still got a chance. Yeah, you still got a chance. I choose to
It's not
assume
over.
that is The Rock, by the way. They call him the Brahma Bull, right? I'm
Yes.
not crazy. Okay.
Correct.
And then there was one more in there. $5 from Anthony, who says, no matter what, find a way to enjoy the next game. We were watching the end of EJ, JTC, Cogs, Helm, and you never know who else. End of an era.
In EJ's case, yeah. The rest of those are,
We'll see. Yeah.
those guys come and go.
I mean, I could see Helm being done, but I would expect Cogs to be playing hockey next year. I don't know if it's for the Avs, but whatever.
I mean, maybe, I don't know, man. It can't be for 125.
I agree with that. But anyway, not the point. A late one here from Dan, who says, not the way we drew it up, but Avs need to feel the feet to the fire to see what they're made of. Y'all gems, you guys are the best. Always ups, gents.
Much love. I would say this is the ultimate form of being choked, right?
Yeah. Hey, look.
Season's on the brink of elimination. It doesn't get any chokier than
Hey,
this.
look. What has this core never done together in the playoffs? Win a Game 7.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You got to get there first. I hear you.
not really. They've never really come back in a series either.
Yeah.
They were down.
They've come close to
They were
coming
down
back.
3-1
Yeah.
to Dallas, and that was.
And then they lost Game 7.
They were down
yeah.
3-2 to San Jose,
And they
then
lost Game 7.
Yep.
So maybe a new challenge to conquer for Colorado. They have to go out and do it. It's up to them. We'll be here to cover it all, tell you all about it, give us our opinions and feelings, but we don't play the hockey at the end of the day. So we hope you all enjoyed the show. We hope you all have enjoyed the playoff run so far, and whatever's left of it, we hope you all enjoy. We will be here 5 days a week, maybe more. Come rain, shine, snow, or anything else. Avs in the playoffs or not, we got you covered. So we appreciate all y'all, and we will talk to you again for an off day show tomorrow.